It's 1956. Egypt has just nationalized the Suez Canal. The Suez Canal had previously been controlled by the Suez Canal Company, which was mostly dominated by Britain and France. The reasons for this nationalization include a military coup in Egypt, overthrowing the monarchy and placing Gamal Abdel Nasser in power, and the withdrawal of American funding due to a lack of hostility against the USSR. Britain and France immediately interpreted the nationalization as an attack on their influence in the region. Furthermore, in Israel, the Strait of Tiran had been blockaded by Egypt, so it was no surprise that the latter was furious. Israel had previously been planning to invade the Suez Canal. In response to the nationalization, the French, led by Prime Minister Guy Millet, invited Britain, led by Prime Minister Anthony Eden, and Israel, led by David Ben-Gurion, to take place in an invasion in order to regain control of the Canal Zone. The plan was that Israel would take the Sinai Peninsula and Britain and France would invade the Canal Zone with the justification of restoring order to the region. On October the 29th, Israel invaded the Sinai Peninsula, and Britain and France immediately sent an ultimatum, stating that both sides should withdraw 10 miles from the Canal Zone, or else. There was a small issue. Israel's troops were still nowhere near the Canal Zone, which gave Britain and France's role in the operation away. The latter were condemned for their actions by the international community, especially by the Americans, who were furious. On the 5th of November, British and French troops were parachuted into the area. This also saw the first use of helicopters in battle, carrying troops to the shores from aircraft carriers, which were stationed in the British military base in Cyprus. The Egyptian army wasn't really prepared to fight against three powers invading, so the military conflict was over quickly, with Britain and France occupying the Canal Zone. However, on the political perspective, it was a massive defeat for Britain and France. The USA went as far as to threaten to kick them both out of NATO, and the USSR threatened with nuclear war. In response, Britain immediately ceased hostilities, and soon after, France and Israel signed a ceasefire. Britain and France withdrew from the canal in November, and Israel didn't withdraw from the Sinai Peninsula until the next year. For Britain and France, the war was a massive embarrassment, and French. It marked the decisive end of British and French influence in the region. It also saw them realize that they could no longer follow their own foreign policy without telling the United States. For Israel, the war was more profitable, and they could now use the Strait of Tiran. For Egypt, it was a massive success and saw Nasser recognized by many as the true protector of the Arab world. Please vote in the top right corner to choose my next video. I hope you enjoyed and thank you for watching.